This garden has not been watered in 3 weeks. Nobody fertilized it this season. The person who planted it took a 2-week vacation in June and didn't think about it once. And yet, look at it. These plants don't need you. Not in a sad way, in the best possible way. They come back every year, handle drought, handle neglect, and somehow manage to look like you worked for them. You didn't. Today we're going through 20 perennials, some you've never heard of, some you thought you knew, that earn their place in your garden for life. No babysitting, no guilt, just beauty. On repeat. Let's get into it. 1. Baptisia, purple smoke, zones 3 to 9. Most people walk past this at the nursery without a second look. That's a mistake. In May, Baptisia throws up smoky violet spires that look like lupins, except it doesn't need coddling, it doesn't flop, and it comes back bigger every year. By summer, those flowers become dramatic charcoal seed pods. 4 seasons of interest. 0 effort after year 1. Plant it at the back of a sunny border. Pair it with allium and salvia. Pro tip, it's a slow starter, takes 2 to 3 years to hit its stride. Be patient. By year 4, it's a 4-foot shrub-like clump that stops people in their tracks. Mark it in spring. It's one of the last perennials to emerge. 2. Persicaria amplexicaulis Firetail, zones 4 to 8. I'll be honest, this is the plant I wish I'd known about 10 years ago. Persicaria Firetail produces blazing crimson bottlebrush spikes from June all the way to hard frost. Not June to August, June to November. Almost nobody in North America grows this yet. It handles drought, it's rabbit-proof, and on camera, it is electric. Pair it with ornamental grasses or rudbeckia for a late summer combination that looks designed. Pro tip, give it moisture and deadhead lightly. It will not stop flowering until the season is finished. 3. Knautia, macedonica, zones 5 to 9. This one is your secret weapon. Deep wine red pincushion, flowers on wiry stems, floating above the border like tiny jewels from June to September. Butterflies are obsessed with it, and almost no one in North America grows it, which is exactly why you should. Plant it in a cottage border or cutting garden. Pair it with salvia and catmint. Pro tip, let it self-seed gently around the parent plant. In a few seasons, you'll have a naturalized drift that looks completely intentional. 4. Veronicastrum virginicum, zones 3 to 8, 6 feet tall, candelabra-like branching stems, white or pale lavender spires pointing straight up. It looks like something from a fantasy garden, and it's native to North America. Plant it at the back of a border where it creates a living wall of vertical drama. Everything you put in front of it suddenly looks more intentional. Pair it with echinacea, rudbeckia, or ornamental grasses. Pro tip, pollinators, especially bumblebees, are absolutely wild for this plant. Position it somewhere you can watch it work. 5. Agapanthus, African lily, zones 7 to 11. If you're in zone 7 or warmer, there is no excuse not to grow agapanthus. Enormous globes of deep cobalt blue on tall, clean stems. Architectural, bold, underused in North American gardens and wildly photogenic in morning or evening light. Pair it with Russian sage or ornamental grasses. The blue on silver is stunning. Pro tip, in zone 7, mulch heavily and it overwinters in the ground. Zones 5 and 6, grow it in a container and bring it in before the first hard frost. The deep blue it produces is almost impossible to find elsewhere in the perennial world. 6. Paeonia, coral charm, zones 3 to 8. You know peonies, you don't know this peony. Coral charm opens deep coral and shifts as the bloom matures, all the way to soft cream. It looks like a time-lapse painting on a plant you plant once and never replace. Put it in a foundation bed or cutting garden. Pair it with allium and catmint. Pro tip, plant the eyes, those red buds, no more than 1 to 2 inches below the soil. Too deep and it simply will not bloom. That's the only rule. Follow it and this plant will be in your garden for decades. 7. Coneflower, Echinacea. Zones 3 to 9. The standard by which all tough perennials are measured. Purple daisy-like blooms from July to September, loved by butterflies, and when you leave the seed heads standing, goldfinches feed on them all winter. Planted in a sunny meadow border or pollinator garden. Pair it with black-eyed Susan and Liatris for a full season, zero maintenance trio. Pro tip, deadhead only the first wave of flowers. Let the last blooms go to seed. You get wildlife value that extends the garden's life well past frost. 8. Russian sage, Perovskia, zones 4 to 9, silver stems. Airy lavender blue spires, blooms from July to October and asks for nothing in return. This is a plant for hot, dry, forgotten corners of the garden. It thrives on neglect. More water actually hurts it. Pair it with agapanthus or ornamental grasses. Pro tip, do not cut it back in fall. The silver stems are structural through winter and they protect the crown from freeze damage. Cut in late March, not before. 9. Salvia nemorosa, zones 4 to 9, deep violet blue spikes from May onward. Hummingbirds find it, bees find it. It earns its space every single year. Use it at the front of a border or as structured edging. Pair it with roses, allium, or catmint. The classic combinations work because they're true. Pro tip, cut it back hard after the first bloom flush. Within a few weeks, you'll have a second show. 2 flowering periods from one plant is exactly the kind of efficiency lazy gardening runs on. 10. Agastache, hyssop. Zones 5 to 9, anise-scented foliage. Months of orange, pink, or purple blooms. And hummingbirds that will show up like clockwork once they find it. Planted in a sunny, dry spot. It doesn't want wet feet. Pair it with Russian sage and echinacea. Pro tip, position it near a window or a seating area. The hummingbird traffic it draws is a living nature documentary you don't have to go looking for. 11. Catmint, Nepeta. Zones 3 to 8, lavender blue clouds of bloom with silvery foliage. Blooms in spring, takes a rest, blooms again in late summer. Nearly indestructible. Use it along path edges or at the front of a border to soften hardscape. It pairs with almost everything. Salvia, roses, allium, veronica. Pro tip, shear it by half after the first bloom. It looks rough for about a week and then comes back mounded, tidy, and in full flower again. 12. Liatris, blazing star. Zones 3 to 9, spiky purple wands that bloom from the top down. Unusual, bold, and one of the best plants for monarch butterflies on the continent. Plant it in a meadow garden or use it as a vertical accent mid-border. Pair it with echinacea and ornamental grasses. Pro tip, plant the corms in fall for the strongest first-year performance. They're cheap, they're tiny, and what they produce is completely out of proportion to what they cost. 13. Yarrow, Achillea. Zones 3 to 9, flat-topped flower plates in gold, red, or white. Completely drought-tolerant, completely deer-resistant. One of the most reliable performers in a difficult sunny spot. Planted on a dry slope or in a cottage border, pair it with Russian sage and salvia. Pro tip, yarrow is a natural insectary plant. Let it bloom and you'll draw in predatory wasps that keep your pest population down naturally. It's doing pest control while it looks beautiful. That's the deal. 14. Sedum, autumn joy. Zones 3 to 9. Most perennials give you one season. Sedum, Autumn Joy gives you 4. Broccoli-like buds in late summer, pink blooms in September, copper seed heads through fall, structural stems through winter. Pair it with ornamental grasses and Rudbeckia for a late-season combination that carries the garden. Pro tip, divide the clumps every 3 to 4 years in spring. If you don't, the center hollows out. If you do, you have free plants for the rest of the garden. 15. Black-eyed Susan, Rudbeckia, zones 3 to 9. Golden yellow blooms from July to frost. Tough as gravel. Grows in heat, drought, and heavy clay. Use it in naturalistic drifts on a sunny slope or meadow border. Pair it with echinacea and little bluestem grass. Pro tip, plant in odd-numbered clusters, 3s and 5s. It mimics how wildflowers actually grow, and the result photographs like a wild meadow, not a garden center. 16. Daylily hemerocallis, zones 3 to 9. One of the most adaptable perennials on the planet. Slopes, poor soil, full sun, light shade. It doesn't matter. Daylilies perform. Use them in mass plantings or mixed borders. Pair with ornamental grasses and echinacea. Pro tip, choose reblooming varieties. Stella de Oro and Happy Returns, flower from May through September. 1 plant, 5 months of color. That's the math lazy gardening is built on. 17. Hosta, zones 3 to 9. Where flowering plants fail, Hosta thrives. Deep shade under trees, dry shade under eaves, north-facing beds. Hosta holds its foliage architecture all season long in conditions that defeat everything else. Pair it with astilbe and ferns. Pro tip, pair a blue variety, halcyon, with a gold one, sum and substance. The contrast between the two reads as a design decision on camera, and it costs you nothing extra. 18. Astilbe, zones 3 to 9, feathery plumes of pink, red, or white in a moist, shaded garden. One of the few perennials that genuinely thrives in wet shade, and one of the most beautiful. Planted at pond edges in north-facing borders or under deciduous trees. Pair it with hosta and ferns. Pro tip, leave the dried plumes standing. They add texture in fall and look stunning laced with frost in early winter. The plant is doing its best work long after the bloom is finished. 19. Crocosmia, zones 5 to 9. Arching stems of fiery orange-red blooms from July to September. Tropical energy without tropical maintenance. Hummingbirds treat it like a destination. Use it as a bold summer focal point or in a cutting garden. Pair it with agastache and ornamental grasses. Pro tip, in zone 5, mulch heavily in fall. Divide the corms every 3 to 4 years. They multiply fast. In a few seasons, you'll have more than you need, which means corms to give away. That's when you become the gardener everyone wants to know. 20. Ornamental grasses, miscanthus, zones 4 to 9. No flowering plant can do what ornamental grasses do. Architectural height, feathery plumes that move in the wind. A presence in the garden through spring, summer, fall, and winter. Use them at the back of a border or as a soft privacy screen. Pair them with sedum, rudbeckia, and asters for a late-season combination that carries itself. Pro tip, wait until late February to cut them back. The winter silhouette, especially catching snow, is one of the most beautiful things in a dormant garden. Don't rush it. 20 perennials. 6 of them you've probably never grown, and after today, I hope you will. 14 of them are plants the gardening world loves for a reason, and now you know exactly where to put them, what to pair them with, and the one thing that makes each of them perform. A beautiful garden isn't about working harder. It's about choosing smarter. Once. If this list gave you one plant you're excited about, share it with someone who thinks gardening is too much work. It doesn't have to be. Tell me in the comments, Which plant surprised you most? And what zone are you in? I'll see you in the next one. The garden is waiting.